Well, hi.
Hello.
How are you, Mason Powell?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for being on the Business Spotlight as my guest for this interview today.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited. I think what you have is going to be of interest to a lot of people. I think you have an interesting story. You're an educational technologist, which I love, educational technologist, and your company is Powell Technology Solutions.
Mhm.
So we're going to be
That is
talking about that, and I suspect you're going to tell us about some of the other things you do.
absolutely.
So I'll just get started and ask you. So what do you do, and for how long?
I am a technology consultant, and I started in IT in 2002. Kind of worked my way up through the system there and gained a lot of management experience and just general IT experience through that process. And that was at the University of Kansas. That's where I cut my teeth in
Okay.
IT. So I've been in a big, very large organization for a lot of years. I spent 17 years at KU, cutting my teeth there on
Okay.
learning how IT works and ITIL processes and business analyst processes as well. I spent about 5 years in a project management office working as a business analyst, designing business processes and technology for different departments across Canada.
Wow, over my head. That is so.
And so what I do now is I help very small businesses kind of get their technological feet under them, working with businesses to set up their email servers. I run a service through Squarespace where I can stand up websites very cheaply and quickly
Okay.
for those that need it. And I help manage just general technology concerns. That can be networking in a small office somewhere or printing solutions, things like that. I've got
Excellent.
experience in most of those fields.
That sounds wonderful. Okay. Do you also help with software selection or?
Absolutely. And part of that business analyst role is finding out what businesses actually need. And spent many years going through the process of learning how to ask the right questions to businesses.
Okay.
Because we often think we need specific things that maybe are too much for us, whether that's financially or technologically. And my job as a consultant is to kind of guide you into the correct software for your needs. Not one that's too much, not one that's too little. And so I can be a great help getting you into the right place, the
That's
right price.
a very valuable service because we always want to. We're oversold usually when we buy a product, right?
Yeah,
They
and
say
I can.
that you got option one, two, three, and oh, you just if you like you have to have option three. Well, that's overkill, and people end up not using it or doesn't don't leverage it.
That's right. And so many times we get stuck between just salespeople. And it's hard to sometimes get an honest answer from those folks how that software works and
Mm-hmm.
what extra stuff is added that you don't actually need. And there may be other solutions out there that are cheaper, faster to stand up, and easier for the clients to
Okay.
use.
So what would be an example of a software that you might recommend, or not, you don't have to recommend a software. What kind of let's say I talk to you, I'm a
Mhm,
business coach, I have an accounting software, I have a CRM, I have
mhm.
other management tools. What kind of questions would you ask me to?
Absolutely. Well, and it kind of depends on what everyone's goals are. If you have an accounting software, nowadays, a lot of times those accounting softwares have CRMs built in. Some people just aren't aware of them. And I can go in and find those kinds of items and say, hey, you can minimize your monthly costs by getting rid of MailChimp and just using your internal CRM. And then you can flow your clients directly through your accounting system. The
Oh,
CRM's built in, your billing's built in. And so process
mm,
efficiency is an important thing when we're,
okay,
we're looking at building these businesses.
that's great. I love that response. I appreciate that. So I'm probably your best customer target. I would guess because I don't know anything about technology, and I don't have a technology company that or department. So, but tell us, who is your best customer prospect?
That's typically two people, and it is the very early business entrepreneur who is just now deciding that it's time.
Okay.
I can be very helpful in the initial setup of getting domains purchased if you want a website. If you need a quick website, I've used cloud systems to get those set up and can get you a website in even 48 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Um, and so, if you need things like getting email addresses set up, I can help with those things as well. Now, the other perfect client for me is one that has been in a paper business for a long time. Small businesses, but paper businesses nonetheless, and I can help those businesses kind of figure out and feel their way through process automation and moving some of those paper processes to a faster, more efficient online process.
Okay. There are still plenty of those out there.
Plenty. I'm
Yeah.
always surprised how many there are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they have to work so hard to get the job done without the automation.
That's right. And you don't know what you don't know.
That's
And when
right.
you're working in your business, it's very hard to learn what is out there without just getting in touch with salespeople.
Hmm.
And so I can be a nice buffer between sales and what you really need.
That sounds awesome. So you're in the technology industry. Any changes that you've made because of COVID, and then how has the pandemic? What are you doing this differently, or how did it impact your business? I guess that's a good question.
Sure, sure. I started the focus early on, but the pandemic really put an emphasis on cloud technologies.
Okay.
I think anymore, people are really interested in working wherever they are. For us, I spent many years helping Allied get up and going, and I focused on cloud technologies for Allied. So we have no in-house infrastructure. And by the time the pandemic hit, we were ready. Our phone systems were in the cloud. Our email systems were all in the cloud. All of our computing and learning management software was in the cloud. I spent most of the couple of years at home managing students in their online courses. And so focusing on cloud technologies and the way they can help us get to where we want to be as a business,
Hmm.
that's what the pandemic really did for me.
That's
And it
great.
cemented those values in for sure.
You got to prove your prove your theory, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So you mentioned Allied. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that company and what your role is with them?
Absolutely. So Allied is currently my full-time job. I'm their CIO, and so I run their learning management systems, their enrollment systems. I'm essentially their sysadmin as well. Their lone tech guy,
Yes.
and so I build their websites. I do all their tech stuff. I do their consulting and their business analyst as well. So I spend a majority of my time working for them, and then help my other clients as possible.
So when someone hires you, like someone in a small business like
Mhm.
myself, I get current current training and information from you because you're staying current with that company as their CIO. What's the
Absolutely.
full name of Allied?
Allied Health Career Training.
Yes, I just want to
And
make sure you said that the full name in case, and tell us a little bit about what you offer there.
Mhm. So that's early healthcare education. We train CNAs, nurse aides, medication aides, EKG technicians, phlebotomists, and medical assistants, and some other recertification type courses. The majority of what we offer is hybrid or online totally, and so it's easily accessible throughout the state. And we do things like hosting courses in care communities across the state,
Okay.
and help students with their healthcare training.
I love what you do there. I think it's awesome. And I also know how important it is to have the technology to support that the medical. If you're not in where you need to be in the medical world and technology, you could put someone at risk.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
life. So
Yes.
that's great. So you are a part of the business at Allied
Mhm.
and in a CIO position, and you're also a business owner. You've got other businesses. What's been your biggest learning as a business owner?
That people don't know as much about technology as I thought they were going to when I first entered the consulting business privately.
Okay.
I thought there was going to be a broader knowledge of how email and how websites and domains and things work. And so, kind of retooling what I thought was important knowledge back to a level of entry, it has been very important. I learned that right away that I don't want to go too deep early on because a lot of stuff is just very simple. And if we can solve the simple problems, that's what most people need.
I would agree with that. I have about five, I'm sure, simple problems that if I could solve in my technology world, I would probably sleep better.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
most do.
Yeah. And it would take someone like you to ask me the questions to pull it out of me, probably, but because I don't.
That's what that's what the business analyst side of things
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
knowing those questions that need to be asked.
And I love that about what you offer. I feel like that separates you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we have a newsletter that will go out, and also people listening to the interview will know that if there's any kind of offer you'd like to offer our audience, just be sure to make sure it can last for a long time because people watch these a year from now. So what do you have any offer you'd like to offer for people and who may reach out to you to work with you?
Absolutely. So the first consultation is absolutely free with me.
Okay.
I like to learn about new businesses. I like to meet new people. And so this is an opportunity for us to connect, and I can talk a little bit about a value that I can add to your business that way. Now, after that, typically clients will see about $100 a month charge. It depends kind of on the size of your business and what your needs are. That will adjust up or down, but that is a typical cost per month. So that free
Okay.
consultation is important, though, 'cause that can be pretty revealing for maybe even some problems you didn't know you had.
Yeah. And so for $100 a month, I have an IT guy.
That's right, exactly right.
That's
And
pretty
now,
cool.
and it's hard to find. You can go to some of these other local companies and they'll charge you a monthly fee, but they mostly want to do very large
Mhm.
printing contracts. They want multi-year contracts. Mine's a month-to-month fee. You can
Okay.
cut me off at any time if you want.
Okay.
I can be as helpful as needed for as long as needed. I have a couple of clients I've run with for about 5 years now.
Okay.
And so it's been a value add for them, and the consultation can be helpful as well to get you going in the right direction.
I like what you said. The consultation can reveal things you don't even know.
Absolutely, yeah,
That's it. It's not that we're doing anything wrong. It's just revealing what we don't know.
and it can provide quite a benefit and really improve your workday. I think sometimes when you find those things.
Okay, good. So your industry, of course, you're in multiple industries, and I love that you do that. You're in the music industry and in your healthcare industry, but all kind of at a technology, but you have a passion for all of them. What's most inspiring about the technology industry to you?
The connections we make and the way we work. I'm sitting here on this call with you. It's an amazing experience. Every time I do things like this, I'm just reminded how important what I'm doing for businesses is. We kept Allied afloat because of this kind of thing throughout the pandemic, and so knowing this tech, getting to know this tech, and learning what you don't currently know about how business technology works can be a fascinating road to travel, and can really improve your life greatly.
I'm with you. My coaches, I have two coaches, neither in Wichita, an action coach in New Zealand and an action coach in North Carolina.
Hmm.
And we were able to work on Zoom and on Teams and collaborate. And it's pretty amazing.
It really is amazing. It
And
really is
I get the
amazing what you
value
can do.
of something I could have never found possible at, even 10 years ago.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Well, what last question? Well, no, what's your favorite business book that
Uh,
what would you recommend others to read or just what do you like?
not exactly business minded specifically, but one that has affected my approach to getting new clients and overcoming what I see as maybe some places where I'm weaker in knowledge is a book by Ryan Holiday called The Obstacle is the Way. Ryan takes a classical Stoic philosophy and kind of brings it down home to just common language, and lets you think about how to overcome adversity, how to overcome those things where you think you're weak. It gives you some confidence. It takes that Stoic philosophy and it kind of applies it to business for you. So
Okay. I believe I've heard of Ryan Holiday.
a great writer, great writer.
Okay.
Any of his books are worth a read. That's the one that stuck in my mind.
That's great. Well, thank you for that. Anytime you can take something complex and simplify it that's what
It's, it's powerful. Yeah.
yeah, it really is. And I think that's great writing. So what's the best way, Mason Powell with Powell Technology Solutions, what's the best way for people to reach you?
Email is a great way. I am a very, very busy person, and that allows me to kind of asynchronously get back to everybody. So,
Okay.
Mason at powell.technology is my email address. You can also call me at 785 979 9309. Those are the best ways to reach me. I'm kind of growing my business organically and by word of mouth right now. And so I do have some socials out there, no website as of now. Just because it's a slow growth business, and sort of keeping it that way on purpose.
I know. I like that. And so if anyone searches for you, Mason Powell on LinkedIn, they'll find you. They'll find you on Facebook, and they'll also find you through Powell Technology Solutions on LinkedIn and Facebook too. So that's
That
a
is correct.
way to find you. So, well, this has been a really fascinating. Congratulations on being an entrepreneur yourself and continuing to, I always think, you know, No successful entrepreneurs can never just have one business. I have found that
It becomes a bit of a habit, I think.
It does. So you're exactly that. So I do want to thank you for taking your time today, and I'm looking forward to meeting you again myself. And then also, I hope you get some new connections and clients from this interview. And I want to thank you for being our guest on the Spotlight interview. And I'm Coach Lee with Action Coach Business Coaching, and I'm located in Wichita. And this is Mason Powell, and he's with he's an educational technologist, and his company is Powell Technology Solutions.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate your time.
Have a great day.